country, Transcendia.
Transcendia, it's her friend, yeah. Before we got married, she was very enthusiastic. After we got married, she kind of seems to have lost any ardor.
Well, I appreciate it as a work of art.
All right. Okay. Andre Lewin of the French UN Association wrote the points for reinvention of the UN. It is excellent. I endorse and follow aim the realization of his points for reinvention of the UN. Ambassador Lewin, Undersecretary of the UN, to Boutros Ghali, and Ambassador to India for France, judged that the UN needed an army of its own. What would that army do? Gendarmes are different from an army. They're an occupying police force. The U.S. Constabulary Service, installed in Germany and Europe, brought civilian policing back to snuff in Germany and Europe. They wore distinctive yellow scarves. Many of us who were aware of them felt that they ought to have been reinvigorated at the time of Iraq. The Middle East needs to be smothered with gendarmes. At least the violence between the Palestinians and the Israelis needs to be smothered as a skew of the euro dollar. All of the Israelis and Palestinians could be insured by the national insurance company or national insurance companies, to the point that when a civilian is killed by the Israelis, the insurance company will have to pay. When an Israeli is killed by a Palestinian, the insurance will also have to pay. It would seem to me to create a good disincentive for killing. No town, city, state, or nation can be prosperous without safe and fair ports. One of the things I wanted to say about the insuring all Palestinians and Israelis under one nation solution was that it has the added advantage of being fair.
Break a leg. Have fun.
No town, city, state, or nation can be prosperous without safe and fair ports. I think I was thinking about destruction of Gaza. Ideally, if you were to found a town, you would found it on water, on a good road, with railroad tracks and an airport. Landlocked towns and cities off the beaten path without any of these connections, at the very least, may gain some importance and prosperity by building and operating an airport. This is a wonderful option for people who live in nowhere. Burning Man has an airport. I really liked living on the airport. I got used to the noise. I worked on a farm. It was a fuel farm. I also worked on a real farm. I have sympathy for sheep. They're so docile. Some people are docile. Most of us would rather be docile and don't want to be bothered about governance. It is a bother. We have other things to do. It is nice when the government protects us and pays for our defense and education. We like gifts. I look and see the airport authority, and I pursued a seat on the one that was to be created locally. I was prompted to get off my ass and go around campaigning for a seat on the airport authority of Orange County, North Carolina. I was essentially promised a seat. We can work with you, the guy in charge said after I'd been there at his meeting. My boss of the time had a sign on his estate that said no airport. He said don't trust the university. The leader of the university eliminated the airport authority. There is still an airport in Orange County, and as of today, I was told they expect it to run forever. Carolina North, the boondoggle, as my senator friend once described it. Now they're talking about putting it out by Finley Forest golf course. That's the news I got today over their telephone talking to the manager. Anyway, these conflicts are wonderful. I don't have to go anywhere from where I live to fight about anything. I can just live here in my little rented house with my wonderful wife and get in fights and suffer defeat after defeat sitting right where I am. I may be too sensitive. I had nightmares after my last loss. I was intent on applying what I learned about the housing crisis in Haiti to here, in advance of a Haiti-like crisis. You know, you can learn a lot from extremes. This is not Haiti, but there cannot be fair housing when there isn't enough housing. You have to have a surplus. Only the factory modular way is able to keep up with demand. I was treated like some sort of wayward high school student. Essentially, I was insulted. It was different. We won't work with you. Very personal. So I had nightmares. Great leaders turn to engineers to solve their most pressing problems. Let's see, anyway, here, I'm going to end this up real quick. I suppose if I had an audience, I would be a little more invigorated. We'll come back and do this all again on Friday the 13th of February, Friday 13th is the next art walk opening, and I'll be here and I don't know, do the speech again. We'll probably change some of the work here, and thank you very much.